I want to say this. I've been doing these videos for quite some time now. Probably about 2 years. As far as moving down to the South, specifically North Carolina, in the cities such as Charlotte, Raleigh, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Charlotte. And one thing that I realized, after all of the emails, DMs, the comments in the comment section of these videos that I do about migrating to the South, is that, let me say this first and foremost. Every race moves based on a better opportunity. I mean, if you get a job that pays more, no matter where that job is at, you're gonna want to move. So let me say that off the rip. But dealing with minorities, specifically black people, we move unlike any other race. We move for the purpose of finding that so-called promised land. And I don't know whether we're still hung up on the I have a dream speech that Dr. Martin Luther King gave in Washington, D.C., where he talked about how he may not make it to the mountaintop and how one day, black people going to be playing with white children and this and that and so forth and blah, 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 blah. And some of the dream, that somewhat came true. But this promised land where blacks are going to be treated equal and that there will no longer be any type of discrimination based on race, based on skin color in America is untrue. That no matter what, if you're living in America, racism will continue to exist. Discrimination will continue to exist. Systemic racism will continue to exist. And I hate to be the Debbie Downer. I hate to be it. But if you're searching for this promised land and you think that Charlotte is this promised land that you're searching for, then I can tell you you're 100% wrong. Is it better than a lot of other places? Yes. But I bet you when you move to Charlotte and you have the money, let's just say you don't have the money. When you get the money and you start venturing out, especially out of the country, you're going to see that there are countries that are better than Charlotte. But somehow, some way, there's going to be something that's, excuse my expression, fucked up about that country. Like prime example, I went to the West Indies and it was all black and I felt at home. I mean, rightfully so. My family's from there. And I asked them, hey, what about the police officers out here? Do they kill people? And they were like, nah, hell no. What are you talking about? I felt safe when I was there. I felt free when I was there until I went to the grocery store and I saw that Doritos potato chips were $6.88. I went to the local farmers market. They have a local farmers market that's in the downtown of Nevis. And then they have, for those that have been to the West Indies, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's Jamaica, Caribbeans overall, you know what I'm saying? You all know this. Then they have stands, you know what I'm saying? While you driving around, the country or the city, whatever you want to call it, the island, they have people that set up stands. And the prices were a little bit more cheaper than the grocery store and farmers market that was downtown Nevis, but they were extremely high. Nevis likes to call themselves an independent country, but yet and still their currency is not independent. It's EC. The money has Queen Elizabeth on it. So one way or the other, whether Okay, let's say you got away from discrimination, racism, systemic racism, and all the rest of that, redlining, and all of this stuff that America does to black people. Then you leave and you go to places like Ghana and West Indies, Africa, etc. And you find out, oh shit, discrimination and this and that and so forth, but it's classism. The infrastructure of the city that you're living in is fucked up. It's corruption. Let me tell you something. I ain't trying to be funny, and there's no disrespect to no one. I have to always say this because we as black people have a problem. Like, I can't say that I don't like living in North Carolina. I can't say I don't like living in New York. I can't say that Atlanta was horrible without somebody having something to say. We the only race that does that dumb shit. I have the right to have my own opinion on shit. You do not own the state. Matter of fact, you don't own shit. But only in our race. Only. White people, they could get on YouTube and they could talk about, I've seen them, I've looked at the videos. And they could talk about how a horrible situation that they were in when they were living in 20 miles from Raleigh, North Carolina, and that Raleigh, North Carolina, and this and that and so forth, and blah, 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 and it's just not my cup of tea. And guess what? In the comment section, everybody's like, well, I understand, I respect that, da-da-da-da-da. But in my comment sections of the videos, when I say I don't like North Carolina, when I say I don't like Atlanta, I gotta hear all these threats and shit. Anyway, that ain't gonna stop me. Anyway, if you want to see something that's similar to Ghana or the West Indies or wherever black people are in rule, say no more. Go to Atlanta. And Atlanta is somewhat just like places like Ghana and the West Indies where people, where the people so-called, black people so-called run shit. Even though Africa ain't running nothing. The China man is buying that shit up as well as the Caribbeans as we speak. Call me a liar. Call me a liar. You know I'm telling the truth. We're the only race of people where we need the white man's help for everything. White man, could you please hold my hand? Now we don't need the white man anymore. Now Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna keep it real. We found another Johnny. Cause we ain't nothing but whores on the street. Whether it's the streets of capitalism or whatever. We done found a new love affair. That's the China man. And they don't mind, and neither do we mind, them pimping us out. That plain and simple. So the China man is buying up Africa as well as the Caribbeans. And then selling, if you don't believe me, go online. Go to YouTube and you'll see it for yourself. They're selling, they're importing shit to countries like the islands like Jamaica. And they're killing the farmers out there. They're importing fruits, vegetables, grains like rice. And killing the farmers. And it's crazy to me, man, that the China man, I'm gonna say it, is selling these people fake white rice. And you go to YouTube and you could type it in. They took the rice and put it to a flame, and the shit lit up because it was plastic. China man not only bootlegs shit, duplicates shit like regular products. You know what I'm saying? Pocketbooks, Louis Vuitton, shoes, Gucci, and all the rest of that shit. He's now duplicating in food, selling fake food, If you don't believe me, look on YouTube. You'll see how they could turn cabbage. They could make cabbage and it look real. Fake cabbage. So this whole thing of black people searching for the promised land, you're not gonna find it. You're just not. Because you're gonna run into a fucking dead end. And you're gonna find out that either A, you assimilate and you just deal with the shit, and a lot of people have. A lot of us have. And, you know, every now and then you'll hear us bitch and complain, but we ain't gonna never do shit about it. Because we're too wrapped up into American society. And to a certain point, and it's gonna sound fucked up, but it's the truth. We're wrapped up into American society to the point where we're spoiled. We're spoiled rotten. We're so lazy, and we love convenience. We love it when we can pay someone to do what the fuck we don't want to do. We have taken on the Europeans' lazy ass mentality. And I know what y'all gonna say, that's mean to say. No, it's not. Cause he damn for sure wasn't picking cotton. Well, my ancestors were. No, he was on a fucking horse with a whip, threatening us that if we stopped picking cotton, he was gonna hit us with that whip. Hot as shit outside, and this motherfucker drinking lemonade, cool lemonade that is, that we made for him. Telling us to hurry up. That we ain't nothing but a bunch of lazy ass Negroes. So we taking on that type of European mentality. Shit, I'm not gonna cut the grass. I'll pay somebody else to cut it. Where's the man? Where's the man at? Y'all quick to tell me. I've heard women out of their own mouths quick to tell me you ain't no man. You crazy? That 6'8" punk that you dealing with, I'm more of a man than he is. You want to know why? Because I take care of my children. I get out there and I cut grass. I do what a man does and more. I change diapers. Matter of fact, one day I'm gonna record my one day. This is now that one day that I'm gonna record. I do this shit every day. Today I had to take a break. I had to stop doing what I was doing for the last couple months because it was just nonstop. And you know what my break consisted of? I still didn't take a break because I had to get up in the morning and I had to do my regular routes. Let's hit up grocery stores for kale. People know me around here. The grocery stores know me around here. They know, oh yeah, that's that dude that just be buying up vegetables. You had the nerve to tell me that I ain't no goddamn man. No, your man ain't no man. Shit, I ran away from home at 16 years old because I wasn't trying to listen to no fucking woman. And it's no disrespect towards my mother, and it's no disrespect towards women in general. But you can't tell a man what the fuck to do. In other words, when I was 16 years old, I was thinking like a fucking man. That plain and simple. Went too far with it, but let's get back. Yeah. At the end of the day, I can honestly say that I used to look for that promised land. I was in search for it. And then once you go outside of the country and you start to realize, holy shit, that if it's not capitalism and if it's imperialism or some shit, you know what I'm saying? It's the same bullshit. It's just under a different name. Motherfuckers think they're gonna go back to Africa and everything's gonna be okay. No, it's not. You don't think you could get your ass beat by some black police officers? And robbed? You're in search for that promised land and not realizing that the only way that you're gonna ever get your promised land is if you build it. And this time, guess what? I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. And I probably won't. But I'll say this, you're definitely going to need security. I'm gonna lighten it up for those that really know what I'm talking about. See, what was fucked up is we had a chance back in the days, but you bitch ass niggas fucked it up. You people that was against the Black Panthers, because the Black Panthers weren't, they were, oh my God, they were the solution. They were, to me, in my opinion, they were far more powerful than Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, and the list goes on. You want to know why? Because it was several of them. It wasn't just one. Just think about it. They had to take out Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton, Angela Davis. I mean, the list goes on. Shada Shakur. And what I mean by take them out, I'm saying, you know, of course, in the case of Shada Shakur, she's exiled, you know. They still looking, they got a bounty out for her. You know what I'm saying? They assassinated Fred Hampton, and Angela Davis, they gave that motherfucker a job. It's true, like when I'ma get you, sucker. You remember when the dude was like, yo, you know, we was about the revolution, and then they started handing out jobs to the you know, the freedom fighters? It's true. Some of those Black Panthers became government officials. They got a job. But that we had a fighting chance back then to create our own. The problem with Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma is we didn't have an army. Just didn't. We might have had a few guys that, you know, that own a firearm here and there, but that for the most part, we didn't have a unified, disciplined army. That plain and simple. And let me explain something to you. I know I've said it numerous times, for those that haven't, you know, y'all don't, this is the first time you ever heard of me, whatever. I've said this numerous times. If there was a race war, we wouldn't win. Bullshit. Any race, let's say that. I'm not say that. I'm not going to even put it on the table as the black race. But any race that has one mind would definitely win a battle as well as a war. Look no further. Look at the Haitian Revolution. What did they have? They didn't have a bunch of guns and none of that shit. But they managed to gain their independence from the British or the French. I don't know. I know you all are going to correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. So, for those, okay, and B, because I said, you know, either A, you know, you are going to assimilate and just bitch and complain every now and then, or B, you're going to do something about it. You know how much I talk about Dr. Malachi York. You know, I don't like the man for what he's done to those children and what he's done to the potential of a Wakanda in America. See, it's you blaming the government on them destroying Tamaray, Egypt of the West. Dr. Malachi York did that shit when he started touching those children on the land. Had he not touched those children, they would have never been able to go in the way that they did. And I know some of you all are going to say, well, the reason why they did do that is because, you know, he was a threat and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he was a threat. But let me tell you something about that man. He was smart to the point where he was dumb. I'm not going to say dumb. He was smart to the point where he was smart. Let me push that to the side. But he allowed his ego and arrogance in narcissistic ways to overcome something that was beautiful called Tamaray, Egypt of the West. So he felt untouchable. He felt like could nobody touch him. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. And wasn't necessarily so. I literally heard him on CD. I've sold all my CDs, lectures. He used to do lectures on CDs and things, and tapes and all of that, right? I've literally heard him out of his own mouth say that I'm not of this world, and certain things, cultures, traditions, and things that we do on our planet, you all would disagree, or would think that it wasn't right on this planet. So he was literally telling you there's some shit that he has done and will continue to do that it ain't right here. So he fucked that up. Other than that, for those that don't know, the people, we had 436 acres, 35, something like that, of land in Edenton, Georgia. I've been there quite a few times. And if you want to talk about the promised land, that shit was damn for sure close to it. If you want to talk about Wakanda, that shit was damn for sure close to it. Pyramids, black children running back and forth. They ain't have to worry about nothing. No gunshots, none of that shit. Drive-bys, people shooting out or whatever. And the plan was to build churches, mosques, hospitals. We were trying to turn Tamaray into our own little city. Where we could police our own. And some of y'all don't even know that. But Wesley Snipes was trying to buy the land across from it because he was going to turn that into like a training spot. Now, I will say that they wasn't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Where, we were going to learn how to shoot weapons and all types of stuff. All forms of art of fighting, such as jiu-jitsu, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on. MMA. Now that's some shit that I will say. They wasn't trying to have that shit. But he fucked that up. And then also, I'm just gonna be real with you. I just think that was a bad decision overall. You put that shit dead in the middle of a fucking racist ass damn town called Edenton, Georgia. I don't know if any of y'all been to Edenton. Like the black people don't even realize that's there. They don't even realize that they're free. For real, you go down there, niggas are still picking cotton. Places like Athens, Edenton, Macon, Alpharetta, damn near, not Alpharetta, what's that shit? Augusta is not too far from that shit. I'm not saying too far meaning like miles. I'm talking about like mentality, the blacks in Augusta. Man, it's really fucked up down in Georgia, man. I'm serious. I really don't. And the people in Atlanta, that's something different. I'm not gonna go there because I was gonna put in the LGBT joke, and I'm not going there. In other words, the Atlanteans, they know they free. They free to do whatever they want to do. That's obvious. Oh man, we gotta bring some humor into this. We can't allow, you know what I'm saying, a person's opinion to fuck up, fuck it. You can't allow my opinion to fuck up your day. Just roll with it. Listen, you know how many times people say I got a big nose? Like, I'm not trying to get off the subject. I'm just being real. You know how many times a chick said, I don't want to get with you because you too short. Okay, whatever. That's your loss. You ain't see what's in my pants though. But that's not all. It's not all about, it's not just about, sex. It's about what I have to offer. It's about, like, can you sit down with me and have a conversation? Can we build together? Can we build a business together? Can we establish a legacy? That's what it's about. But you know how many times, in other words, what I'm saying, you know how many times I've been criticized, picked on, discriminated against, that's not going to ruin my day. And that's something that we have to realize. I'm gonna get light with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with this energy because it's shifted. So let's not talk about the negative. Let's talk about the positive. Let's make this video, instead of you all feeling though, you know, like you're having this hopeless state of mind. Let's make it hopeful now. Yeah, true indeed. You may not be able to make this perfect promised land like you want it, right? If you try to go that route. Or you may not want to go that route. You just say, hey, listen, I'm going to deal with the bullshit. Overall, maneuver. Work your way around racism, discrimination, systemic racism, redlining, and all of that shit. If you claim that we built the pyramids, if you claim that we're the original Egyptians, that we built Timbuktu, that there's pyramids not only in Egypt, Cairo, Egypt, but in Sudan and Nubia, and that we're gods and goddesses, guess what? Something that's small and minute as racism, it's nothing to us. Discrimination is nothing to us. We made it this far. King Leopold killed over 6 million Congolese people. 6 fucking million. I don't know how many millions of black people were lost in the transatlantic slave trade. How many black people that were killed during slavery? But we managed to get out of it. We managed to make it through the civil rights, and the list goes on. You know? And we're still being mistreated. But if we say that we're strong, powerful people, we can make it through this shit. That's real talk. Never give up. That plain and simple. And one thing that you have to realize is that this promised land that you're searching for, you have to make it come true. And there will be sacrifices. In other words, there will be lives that will be lost. Some people, you know, really like back the fuck away from that because nobody wants to die with shit. We're killing one another as it is. So why not die for a purpose? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying to go out there and do this and do that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Things are going to have to change one way or the other. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. I hope wherever you move to, whether it's moving to the South or Midwest or the West, moving out of the country, that you live your best life. You understand? Because we've been through a lot as black people, and I definitely want to see us prosper and grow and get out of this hole that we've been in for over 400 damn years.